If you're familiar with the channel, biological age testing is a big part of the approach for potentially slowing aging. For example, there are many videos on the channel using Dr. Morgan Levine's biological age calculator, AnthropoAge, but also aging.ai. But can biological age be predicted without blood test data? So in today's video, we're going to take a look at AnthropoAge, which attempts to integrate body composition measures into the estimation of biological age. And potentially more importantly, no blood tests are required to assess biological age. So a first and obvious question should be, how good is AnthropoAge? How does AnthropoAge compare with PhenoAge? So as we'll see, AnthropoAge is as good as PhenoAge for associations with all-cause mortality. And these data were generated using the NHANES 3 and 4 studies, which included more than 17,000 people. So first, in looking at all-cause mortality risk, as shown there, and when evaluating two different AnthropoAge measures, including AnthropoAge and S, or simplified AnthropoAge, and I'll have more on that in a minute, and comparing those two measures against PhenoAge, we can see that the hazard ratios for both AnthropoAge measures were above 1, and also the data in parentheses, which is the 95% confidence interval, that too was above 1. In other words, AnthropoAge is significantly associated with all-cause mortality risk, as is PhenoAge. So we can see that that's also true. The hazard ratio is above 1, and the data in parentheses, the 95% confidence interval, also above 1. So both measures, AnthropoAge and PhenoAge, are both significantly associated with all-cause mortality risk in the NHANES 3 and 4 studies. Similarly, AnthropoAge is as good as PhenoAge for associations with cause-specific mortality too. And for the cause-specific mortalities, those included cardiovascular disease, diabetes, stroke, cancer, influenza or pneumonia, kidney-related issues including nephritis or nephrosis, deaths related to Alzheimer's disease, and chronic lower respiratory disease. For each of these outcomes, we can see that AnthropoAge was significantly associated with them, both in terms of their hazard ratio, and again, for that data in parentheses, the 95% confidence interval was completely above 1. As was PhenoAge. We can see the data in parentheses and the hazard ratio both completely above 1. So from these data, we can conclude that AnthropoAge is as good as PhenoAge for associations with all-cause and cause-specific mortality. So with that in mind, what measures are included in AnthropoAge? So let's start off with the simplified, or S, AnthropoAge, and I've put my data here just to illustrate. So first we'd have to enter chronological age, height, so one would need a tape measure, weight, or we'd need a body weight scale, waist circumference, so once again the tape measure, and then you would enter your sex, race, or ethnicity, and then we need to make sure to toggle the only estimate S AnthropoAge to toggle that to the right. Then you click on submit, and you get your predicted AnthropoAge, or anthropometric age. In my case, it's 48.73, so then AnthropoAge subtracts that from my chronological age, and I get a value of negative 1.47, which means that AnthropoAge acceleration is non-accelerated. And what that means is that my 10-year mortality risk would be lower than expected based on chronological age. All right, what about the full AnthropoAge? How can we calculate that? To calculate the full AnthropoAge, we would need to use the tape measure for thigh circumference, and then also the upper arm circumference, so midpoint of the arm for arm circumference and midpoint of the thigh for thigh circumference. For women, they would need a skin fold caliper, and that would be used to gauge this skin fold thickness on the back of the upper arm behind the triceps, and also subscapular skin fold thickness, so just below the scapula on the back. And then we would need to toggle the only estimate S AnthropoAge, toggle that off so that we get the full AnthropoAge estimation, and then click submit, and we get a similar number, 47.88, which that too, because it's less than 50.2, my chronological age, is non-accelerated. So, and again, that non-accelerated means it's a 10-year mortality risk that is lower than expected based on chronological age. So as a last note, AnthropoAge is free to use, and I'll put the link for AnthropoAge in the video's description. So if you're interested in using it, check it out. All right, that's all for now. If you're interested in more about my attempts to biohack aging, check us out on Patreon. And before you go, we've got a whole bunch of discount links and merch that you may be interested in, including NAD quantification, green tea, epigenetic testing, oral microbiome composition, at-home blood testing, diet tracking, or if you'd like to support the channel, you can do that with the website Buy Me a Coffee. We've also got merch, so if you're interested in wearing the Conquer Aging or Die Trying brand, that link, as all the other links, will be in the video's description. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.